Hello in TGIF for this Friday, November 11th, 2016, and we've got some pretty changeable weather coming up, but not until later next week. In the meantime, a lot of dry weather expected right on through Tuesday. The big story will be the winds today. We could have winds 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts of 30, but I think during the afternoon we'll see those winds begin to lighten up as that system moves away, and we'll have cooler temperatures in the wake of the cold front, with highs only in the mid-40s to possibly around 50 degrees. And then we're going to be watching again a pretty significant storm that might be possible, and I want to emphasize potential storm for next weekend. But right now it looks like it could be a pretty good storm, and we'll certainly update that here in the coming days. Our normals for the day, our normal high is 47, the normal low is 31, so we're now below normal for an average. And you can see on this date back in 1898 we had a foot of snow here in mid-Michigan. If we look at the conditions around the area yesterday, you can see temperatures pretty mild with highs in the low 60s, lows in the mainly in the 30s. And again, the highest temperature Lansing 64, the lowest temperature just a little bit below 0 Celsius at St. Thomas. If we look at the nation's highs and lows for yesterday, the highest temperature was 96 degrees at Imperial Beach, California, and the lowest temperature 8 degrees at Alamosa, Colorado. If we look at conditions around the area this morning, you can see temperatures mainly in the 40s, so not too bad. That's still about 5 to 8 degrees above normal, and we are still running almost 14 degrees above normal per day, so very, very warm start to the month. But I think we're going to see that flip again, as we've been talking about, probably around the 15th to the 20th. Actually, it's probably going to be closer to the 20th, and it could be that pretty significant storm potential for late next weekend. That could be the catalyst to bring down some of the colder air from Canada. If we look at the satellite, this is the water vapor image, and you can see the very dry air that's coming into the state of Michigan, so it'll be a good drying day for the crops, and especially those who still have some soybeans out there. But with that breeze, we also continue to see our surface soils begin to dry, and it's been awfully wet for the farmers trying to get into the fields. But we'll continue to see that dry here right on into Tuesday, with lots of excellent harvest weather on the way. If we take a look at the low-level winds, you can see coming out of the north, bringing that cooler, drier air all the way in from Canada. And if we look at the next screen, you can see on the radar just some lake effect beginning to show up. And I think along Lake Superior, down towards the tip of Lake Michigan, and down lee of the lakes of Lake Erie and Ontario, we could see some lake effect showers. Could be a mixture of snow as you get up towards Marquette back to the western end towards Ironwood. If we look at the surface map this morning, you can see the cold front that went through the area now well off to our east, and any low pressure system that might track along that front will be well off to the south as we continue to be dominated by high pressure right on through early next week. And you can see on tomorrow morning's map that high across the center of the nation, bringing very great weather conditions across much of the U.S. over the next few days. As we talked about, the best chance of precipitation will be in the far northwest, across the southeast, and across northern New England. For much of the rest of the nation, very little precipitation expected over the next 7 days. And as we get into Sunday, this system that'll come through as we get in towards Monday night into Tuesday is really not going to have a lot of moisture with it. And again, we don't expect much in the way of any precipitation with this system that comes through late Sunday into Monday. We'll wait for the next system to come through Tuesday night, and again, that will have our best chance of showers. I think there's at least a fair chance that we could see some scattered showers across the Great Lakes. But again, we don't expect quantitative precipitation amounts to be that impressive. And if we look at the precipitation over the next 7 days, you can see from the WPC, much of the MAC area is going to remain high and dry, with the heaviest precipitation again across the far eastern U.S. and out west as we continue in a pretty dry pattern. As far as temperatures over the next 6 to 10 days, you can see very warm conditions across the eastern 3/4 of the nation. And as far as precipitation, and if we can show that, that's the 8 to 14 day precipitation. Looks like we're going to be above normal, and I think that begins late next week with that storm, and it looks like we'll continue the moist conditions as we go into the 8 to 14 day outlook. Again, we're going to have to watch for the storm. We think it'll track west of the Great Lakes, and that could bring warmer air in along with some pretty good rains. But we'll certainly track that storm for next weekend. Thanks for stopping by, and have yourself a great day, a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday, and 73s to all.